So, what are the real sacrifices mompreneurs are making nowadays to raise tiny humans and run a business? This list isn't only coming from me, it's coming from moms that are friends, clients, people in the drop off line. We're all feeling the same thing. Does it ever feel like you're giving up more than you're gaining as an entrepreneur mom? Like you're sacrificing so much to get where you want to be as both mom and entrepreneur, but you're not moving fast enough? Especially if you know that you're building something meaningful that's going to make an impact beyond your wildest imagination. And yet you still have doubts like you're doing something wrong because the sacrifices feel so heavy. But there's something biological, right? That's pulling you to both be a mother and be an ambitious entrepreneur. We sacrifice a lot to be mothers and still fulfill our purpose and passion in the world, right? Raising healthy, happy humans while still trying to be healthy and happy ourselves. How do you make those two function together? Let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Yvette, the Declutters, your less is more coach and business mentor. And in this video, I'm revealing the real list of what I gave up to become an entrepreneur turned mom. Not the Instagram highlight reel, but the one no one else is sharing, but secretly dealing with behind closed doors. That one. And I'm also going to tell you why it's okay. There was a season, and maybe you're in it right now, where I was trying to write an email or run a meeting with a toddler sitting on my lap, drinking cold coffee and pretending that I wasn't one tantrum away from a full meltdown. Mine. I remember thinking, how is everyone else doing this? We're all doing it. We're all going through it as moms and entrepreneurs or moms working from home. We are doing our best to be present for our kids and making our careers work alongside that. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was following my instincts and still following my instincts to put my kids first. But I'll admit, those instincts battle with my ambition every single day. My ambition to make money, to continue to grow my business, to stay on the course that I started before I had kids. I had officially stepped into the life no one prepares you for, the mom slash CEO life. And it's not for the faint of heart. And yeah, it comes with a lot of sacrifices not enough of us are talking about, but we are today. Ready? But before I get into it, I have to ask you a huge favor. If you're liking my content, you enjoy watching my videos every week about how to simplify business as a mom, please take a second to click like and subscribe, maybe even share this with a friend so more moms can find my channel and get the tips that I share. Because I look forward to making these videos for you on a weekly basis. And with your support, I'll know that you want me to. So thanks. The real sacrifices mompreneurs make. I have one little prelude before we get into the list, kind of like a disclaimer, because if you're noticing as I go through the list the sacrifices you're also making, I want you to also remember that we're constantly at choice. We're choosing with our hearts as mothers. So this isn't a motherhood bashing session. It's actually the opposite. It's embracing motherhood in all its glory and letting it be okay. I'm posting this to build community with you so that you know you're not alone. If you're trusting your maternal instincts and doing what you know is the best thing to do in every moment, then you can turn these sacrifices into welcomed experiences and core memories of your life as a mom, where you're still present and profitable as a mompreneur. Okay, without further ado, let's get into it. Goodbye, predictable routines. There's nothing predictable about motherhood. Kids change, business demands change. Nothing is linear and never will be again. What we can guarantee is that the only constant is change. Goodbye date nights and weekends away. Everyone says you should have them, but it's not realistic to think you can have them as much as you did before kids. I mean, if you stay out late on a Saturday night, you still have to wake up with the kids at 5 a.m. when they're bright eyed and bushy tailed and you had no sleep and the babysitter's gone. That's on you. Time with your partner looks like falling asleep on the couch watching your favorite shows together. Our partners get whatever energy we have left, which is usually none or crumbs. I mean, it's a sacrifice for everyone. I mean, did you know there's an inverse relationship between testosterone, the mating hormone, and oxytocin, the bonding hormone, the nurturing hormone? When a woman is nurturing, they don't want to mate. It's like, go away. It's biological and instinctual and just is what it is. So it's tough to date your husband because the primary intimacy for a mom is with her child. And maybe all she wants from her husband is a hug. And that's maybe not enough for him. It's crazy, crazy stuff, I know. But men, be patient. Wait for her. Your sex life will pick up again. Don't worry. You don't have to find it elsewhere. Okay? Goodbye rest that actually restores you. You go to bed strategizing about tomorrow, and then you wake up to someone standing inches from your face. Waking up at all hours of the night is the norm now, at least until my boys are older. I heard something pretty eye opening actually. Moms wake up to the sound of a baby crying or a toddler's footsteps, while men sleep right through that. But men wake up to the rustling of leaves or noises outside because their primary instinct is to protect the home, the family inside. So knowing that makes me a lot less resentful of my husband who slept through the night while I was nursing our babies or pulling our toddlers into bed with me. I can forgive him. And for us mompreneurs, this one's a two-parter because it's goodbye rest and hello working past your bedtime and max capacity. Because once you pick up momentum in your business again, you start filling your time with more client bookings or speaking engagements or creating more content. So if something comes up with the kids or one is homesick all week, then my work gets to shift to accommodate that. And I mean, isn't that the point? The flexibility of entrepreneurship. I mean, it is rough, right? You want to keep the pace, you want to keep going, you have ambition, you have goals and drive, and you're like, okay, no, I'm getting this done. And I suppose I could just drop it and go to bed at my usual 9 p.m. But I'm so motivated by the deadlines I set for myself, like posting this YouTube video on time, that I will stay up and finish the edits. It doesn't happen a lot, but when it does, you'll easily find me at my desk at midnight. So make sure you're up for that. And check out this video here just to answer the hard questions before you start a business as a mom. Goodbye, clean, spotless home. It's so nice to walk through a clean house without stepping on toys. Floors are all mopped, walls are white without crayon marks. Everything's in its place. Enjoy all 3 minutes of that before the house is a wreck again. With this week's laundry, today's food crumbs, the dog hair, fort pillows everywhere. And I'll be honest, tidying up and doing dishes is the least of my concerns nowadays. I get to those things when every other priority is taken care of. I mean, my mental sanity does take a beating for sure to see the house a mess most of the time, but that's when I call in the reinforcements. My husband. He vows to keep up with the dishes. A great book that I read about this sacrifice is a book called Drop the Ball by Tiffany Dufu. Goodbye line between work and home life. It all mixes together now. You're a mom no matter where you are, no matter what you do. Get used to it. As you work from the kitchen counter or on the bathroom floor, they come first and everything else has to wait. If you don't have a laptop yet, you might want to invest in one. All creative and deep work happen in 7-minute increments before you get interrupted again. You definitely don't have the time to just drift off and paint a masterpiece in one sitting like you used to. You'll get those hours back when the kids are in college. Goodbye, business momentum. It's true. There's a bit of a business lull the more kids you have. Business slows way down because you have to slow way down because your kids need you. So what gives is usually time spent working because you want to be available for them. At this point, your entrepreneur journey looks like a toddler trying to color inside the lines. Some days are good, some days are bad, but as long as you maintain consistency in the little you are able to do on a daily basis, your effort will compound and compound and compound. And as they get older and start school, you'll be able to fit more into your schedule. And if you've got a solid foundation and good systems, you will see your income skyrocket. More on that in this video here. And that's not to say you won't have success along the way. You'll have plenty of it. You're just not getting any gold stars and probably no bonuses. Just your inner voice asking, was this good enough? Did this even move the needle? Did I just waste my time doing that? But it's important to trust yourself during this time when your kids are little, especially under 5 years old, because they are your priority. And yeah, your work schedule will take a hit, but focus on the most important thing that your business needs from you right now in this season. Even if you only have 20 minutes to work, do what you can and it will pay off slowly but surely. Goodbye to your old identity. You evolve like a speed train going 300 miles per hour overnight. You're not the old you anymore. Talk about an identity crisis. Not only do you have to get to know the new you with your new priorities and routines, but so does your partner and your family and your friends. So this sacrifice really deserves you taking time to reflect and journal and talk to a counselor so that you come to discover that the changes you're going through are all part of the process. You're becoming who you need to be for the rest of your life, every single day. Goodbye meals you sit down for. If you're not stuffing your face with whatever's in the pantry in between client calls and creating content, then you're getting up to get your kids whatever they need during dinner time. I try to sit down for every meal with them when they're home. It doesn't always happen, but that's my goal because it's that important. Plus, it forces me not to just eat on the go. Goodbye, social life. Trying to hang with your friends. You'll probably have to pass on 90% of the invites. When the kids were babies, I barely did anything but stay home and keep my life super simple. I have such a hard time being a flake that I wouldn't even make plans because I wouldn't want to cancel on people, especially if they didn't have little kids at home who would understand. Not to mention, I had my babies during COVID era, so no one was going out anyway, so that part was easier on me. But as things started to pick up and social life started to resume, I still was kind of holding back and staying home because I still struggle having obligations that I might need to cancel if the kids need me or if they got sick or hurt. So yeah, I have a lot of FOMO, but I don't regret staying home with my babes whatsoever. And now I'm seeing all this research about how moms need to be the primary caretaker in a child's life up to 3 years old. So I'm glad I default to my maternal instincts to be with them. So my friendship season right now looks more like text threads, sharing TikTok videos, and making plans in the distant future. But I do try to meet up with my friends or have brunch at least once a month. That doesn't overwhelm me to the point of exhaustion, and it fills my cup and it holds me over to the next time. Now, if I felt comfortable asking my friends to come over to hang with me while I cook dinner or fold laundry or craft with the boys, then I would. But I don't ask. That feels weird. I want to do it, but I just feel weird. So time with friends that doesn't incorporate the kids doesn't happen so often. But I know it won't always be this way. They'll become independent, not need me, not want me around, and then I'll get to do my own thing. Goodbye attending to your body's needs. Water, taking a nap, stretching, foreign concepts. It starts with nursing. You really do get less time for you as mom and entrepreneur. But self-care is still so important, however you can get it. So be mindful of what replenishes you and try to fit that in. I know, not only are you not spending money on yourself, you're not spending time on yourself either. It's something you'll strive to get back to, and you will get back to it, starting with long baths here and there, a massage, a pedicure, a facial. Those start to make their way back into your life soon enough. Honestly, my self-care looks a lot like alone time. Either journaling or sleeping or watching a show only I like, stuff I prefer to do alone so that I don't have to be alert or available for conversation. I just need nothing. Which brings me to the biggest sacrifice of all. Goodbye, quiet. This one sounds like Goodnight Moon. Good night, kittens. Good night, mittens. Good night, quiet. The quiet rarely returns in the morning, though. It's chaos, but a good chaos. Even in the shower, your brain is going. As you sleep, you're running through your to-do list. And this sacrifice goes hand in hand with privacy. There's next to none anymore. Someone's always in your business, always asking for mommy. So you're always there and ready to break up a sibling fight or save a child from falling off the couch. And there are quiet times where I just sit with my boys and we just cuddle and there's nothing being said. And they like that. We need that. We both need that. Silence is good for everyone. It helps regulate the body, and we sync in rhythm to each other, in rhythm with the silence. We're comfortable in the silence. That's also very important. Being comfortable with the loud and the fun and the excitement, but also in the slow and the serene and the safe. And because we're doing deep work as content creators and coaches and podcasters and YouTubers and authors and bloggers, squeezing in silence whenever we can get it is a must. You're going to need it. Welcome to mommy life. It can be enjoyable when you're not expecting it to be something it's not. It will surprise and delight you every day and also bring you to your knees in despair and confusion. And here's the wild part. Every one of these sacrifices is for a reason. You're building a life, one with people who depend on you. So none of these sacrifices mean you're failing. It just means you're making room for them. Yeah, it feels hard and uncomfortable sometimes, but you can do hard and uncomfortable things. Okay, now it's your turn. What sacrifices have you had to make to be an entrepreneur as a mom? Try not to feel like you're losing pieces of yourself as you assemble this life of yours. Instead, look at it as you gaining the world as you go after your dreams. You know, this entire channel of mine was created so mompreneurs didn't have to build alone. We can do this together. So I think a really good resource for you as mompreneur, as you come into your own balancing business and babies, would be to download the Own Your Day Toolkit. So you can really learn to maximize your time that you spend on business and in other things, other ambitions in your life, so that you can get back to being a mom. Because no, you're not just a mom, but you are a mom first. Till the next one. Peace.